Hello guys, it's Malcolm. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to talk about ways of saving battery life on an Android phone such as this one. This is a Samsung A3. I'm going to talk about ways of saving battery life on an Android phone. And the reason why I'm talking about an Android phone is because I don't own an iPhone. I've never used an iPhone before in my life. But Apple Kenya, if you want to work on something with me, please hit me up and we'll do something about it. So today I'm going to give you 15 tips on saving battery life on an Android phone. So I like to divide these 15 tips into three different categories. So the first one will have something to do with how to generally preserve your battery life on the phone, like the action that you should do in order to preserve the battery life whenever you're using your phone. And then the second category will be something to do with the battery, the battery itself, not the software or the battery itself, how to protect your battery and stuff like that. And then the third category will be on how to extend your battery life. Let's say that it's already giving you a warning that it's about that your phone is about to die. Um, so the third category will be the action that you need to take in order to extend the battery life so that it doesn't go off on you the time you need it the most. Hey guys, so I'll switch back to my phone since the first tip has something to do with the phone. Uh, Something that I can show you through my phone. So let's quickly get into the first category, which is how to generally save your battery life when using it. So the first tip that I have is to turn on dark mode. Turn on dark mode. If your phone has the option of turning all your apps into dark mode, please do so. So as you can see, my phone right now it's in light mode. As you can see right now, my phone is in light mode. Even when you open the apps, let's say something like WhatsApp, as you can see it's in light mode, it's all white. Even Instagram, when you turn on Instagram, it's all white since I've turned it into light mode. And even something like YouTube, it's all white since I've turned it into light mode. But when you select the option of turning it into dark mode, as you can see, it gives a black appearance, a dark appearance. Let's say something like Instagram, when you turn it on, as you can see, it's all black. So since I've selected the option of turning my phone into dark mode, so every app that I use will generally be in dark mode. YouTube, it's now in dark mode, it's all black. And the reason why I'm telling you to do this is because it saves a lot of battery life. Like when your phone is in light mode, it will generally use a lot of battery energy and a lot of power to generate that white appearance. But when it's in dark mode, it gives a dull appearance, a dull but cool appearance, according to me, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, that's the first tip that I have. So let's quickly get into tip number two, which is reducing your screen brightness. So screen brightness is generally how bright your screen is. It comes from the word screen brightness. So in order to reduce your screen brightness, you just scroll down from the top and then go into that what I call the screen brightness regulator. That thing that looks like the sun, but it's half white and it's half black. That thing over there in the bottom. So in order to reduce it, you just scroll from the left and the screen will automatically turn dull. And then when you scroll it to the right, the screen brightness increases. But in order to save your battery life, reduce the screen brightness to the maximum. Reduce it so that it remains, the screen will become a little dull, but this will save a lot of battery life. Since your battery uses a lot of energy, when you are using the most maximum screen brightness, yeah, if it makes sense. Yeah, so in order to save your battery life, please reduce your battery, not your battery, please reduce your screen brightness, excuse me. Yeah. Tip number three, please reduce your, not reduce, please turn off your keyboard sounds or vibrations, stuff like this sound that's on the phone, like the tapping or all the stuff that's on your keyboard and your vibrations, please turn it off. This actually uses a lot of battery, whether you believe it or not. So in order to reduce it, you just go to the settings and then tap on sounds and vibrations. And then all these system sounds, please turn them off. And now as you'll not hear anything when I tap on the phone. So yeah, that's the third tip that I have. Do not use your system sounds like the tapping on the phone or something like when you are dialing the dial tones. Do not use all those settings. Please turn them off. That actually uses a lot of battery. Yeah. So tip number 4. The fourth tip is to let your screen turn off sooner. And by this, I mean that the screen timeout time, let it be a little more less, a little more less. And by the screen timeout, I mean the time that it takes for your screen to go off when you are not using it. So basically, in order to adjust this setting, you just go to the settings bar, settings, and then, as you can see in mine, it's in display. As you can see, wallpaper, screen timeout, font size. So you just tap on that, and then you go to screen timeout, and then you select the least time that it takes for your screen to turn off you sooner when you're not using it. As you can see, mine is 15 seconds, and I've selected it. So after 15 seconds for my phone, if I'm not touching it and I'm not using it, the screen will automatically turn off. So let's wait and see if it goes off. As you can see, it's already turned dark, and then it's gone off. So tip number 5 is to restrict apps with high battery use. And what I mean by that is that you should restrict the apps that are using more battery. And how do you check this? You just go to settings, tap on apps and notifications, and then select all apps. And this gives an overview of all the apps that are on your phone. And in order to check how much battery an app is using, select that specific app. So for example, let me check on WhatsApp. And then I scroll down to usage and then on battery. As you can see, it's telling me that this app has used 1% since I last fully charged it. And so, in order to restrict that app, you should turn this option off. This allowing background activity. Please turn it off in order to restrict that app. You turn it off, and then as you can see, it has shown that it's restricted. Not that, sorry. So yeah, that's tip number 5. Restrict apps with high battery use. Yeah. So let's quickly get into tip number 6, which is to turn on battery optimization for most of your apps. Battery optimization, what it will basically do is to turn off some features of the app in order to save more battery, but the app will work fine. So in order to do this, you just go to settings, and then you go to apps and notification, and then tap on all apps. So for example, let me check on an app such as X Recorder, the one that I'm using to record this, and then I go to usage, and then you go to battery. And then as you can see currently, the X Recorder is not optimized for battery usage. It's not optimized. You just tap on optimize battery usage, you tap on that, and then apps not optimized. As you can see, X Recorder is not optimized. You then tap on that. And then as you can see currently on the optimize option, it says recommended for better battery life. So you tap on this, and then you press on done. And then just like that, we will have optimized that app for better battery. You will have optimized the battery usage. And by this, you will have gotten more battery and a better battery life on the phone. So yeah. So let's quickly get into the last tip of this category, which is tip number 7. Tip number 7 is to turn off location. Location is a service that usually keeps track of where your phone is and basically where you are. And this usually uses a lot of battery since it runs even in the background of your phone. So this usually uses a lot of battery. So in order to save a lot of battery when using your phone, you should just turn this option off. So in order to do this, you just scroll down from the top, and then as you can see, it's written location. Tap that in order to turn the location service off. But the downside of doing this is that since your location is turned off, you need to be able to track your phone wherever you lose it. So that's the downside of turning location service off. But if that's the risk that you are willing to take in order to save more battery life, please do so. So yeah, those were the first 7 tips that I had in the first category, which was to generally help you save your battery while using it. So yeah, that's the first category. So let's quickly get into category number two, which is how to protect your battery, how to protect your the physical battery itself. So in this category, there will be 3 tips, which in our case will be tip number 8, 9, and 10. So let's quickly get into tip number 8. So tip number 8 is to always use the phone charger that your phone came with in the box when you first bought it. As you can see, this is my phone, the Samsung E3, and this is the charger that I'm currently using. It's a Samsung charger. It's the same charger that came with in the box. Um, this is advisable since when you charge your phone with this, it will give the phone the correct amount of watts, the right amount of charge that it needs, and it will give it in an amount that will not damage the physical battery. Um, I see so many people charging their phones with chargers that are not meant for their phones, even chargers from different manufacturer. Like you can find that your phone is a Techno and they are using a Samsung charger to charge it. That's not advisable since you do not know the amount of watts that the charger is giving to your phone, and you do not know the effect that it will have. So in order to stay safe, you should always use the charger that the phone came with in the box when you first bought your phone. So yeah, that's the first tip. The first tip in this category and the eighth in our list. So yeah, that's it. But let's say that your phone, if your phone charger, let's say that your phone charger gets damaged or something like that. What I'd advise you to do is to go to to your phone's manufacturer shop and to ask them to that phone, to replace your charger, of course at a fee. Of course, there's nothing free in Kenya. Of course, at a fee, and they will replace your charger with the right charger that will charge your phone in order to protect your phone battery. So yeah, that's tip number 8. Always use the right charger, the charger that your phone came with in the box when you first bought your phone. Always use that charger. Do not change into other chargers or something like that. You do not know the effect that will have. So in order to stay safe, just use the right charger. So the next tip in this category, which in our case is tip number 9, is to always keep your phone battery as cool as possible. Please notice that I've used the word cool and not cold. Why is this important? Um, you should always keep your phone temperature at just the right temperature. And by just the right temperature, I mean you should not keep your phone in places where it is too hot or in places where it is too cold. Since these two places have a very adverse effect on the phone battery, as in they will damage the phone battery. Yeah. And also, you should not overwork your phone, and by overworking your phone I mean you should not do such things like keeping too many activities running in the background, or playing so many not playing so many games. You can play as many games as you want, but not playing games for a very long time on your phone, since these two will lead to overheating of your phone. And by overheating of your phone, this is a sign that your phone battery is getting overworked, and when it gets overworked, this will greatly reduce the lifespan of the battery. So please do not do those stuff. So yeah, that's it. Always keep your phone battery as cool as possible. Do not overheat it, or do not keep it in places where it's too cold or too hot. Just the optimum temperature is just okay. Yeah. So yeah. Tip number 9, always keep your phone battery as cool as possible. So the last tip in this category, which is tip number 10, is to have good charging habits. What do I mean by a charging habit? A charging habit is basically how you charge your phone. Yeah, that's basically it. So let me give you an example of a bad charging habit. You've heard of the term jump starting. Yeah, like for example, jump starting a car. But in this case, I'm talking about jump starting a jump starting a smartphone. So let's say that your phone is at 0%, like it's totally gone off on you. And so you decide to take your charger, charge it until it reaches until to a certain point, let's say 15 or 20%, and then you decide to remove the charge and then continue using it. That's actually a pretty bad habit that you should stop if you're doing it, since it will end up damaging your phone battery in the long run. Instead, when you're charging your phone, let's say it's gone off, it's totally gone off on you. What you should do is to just lay down, leave it so that it charges to 100%, and then that's when you should take it and then continue using it when it's fully charged. Yeah. The next thing that I like to talk about is this habit of using your phone while it's charging. This is actually a pretty dangerous thing to do, since you've heard of all the stories of um, your phone charger exploding. Like we've heard of all the stories of chargers exploding while people are using it. Like it's pretty dangerous. People have gone to burnt and all those stuff. So in order to prevent this, you should just leave your phone. You should lie down your phone, leave it, go and do something else, and then when it's 100, that's when you should take it and then continue using it. Yeah. And then the last thing that I like to talk about in this tip is to how you let me say that sorry let me say like the time where you should charge your phone. Like of course you should charge it when it's 100. Sorry, you should charge it when it's at 0 so that it reaches 100. But the best thing to do is to actually get your phone while in the morning while it's 100, so that it takes you throughout the whole day. And then when it reaches to around 10 or 15%, that's when you should leave it. And then when you go to sleep, you should you should leave it charging overnight so that it charges to 100%. And some people might say that this is a bad charging habit, but actually it's pretty recommended, since your phone is actually a smartphone. Like when your phone reaches 100%, like it will cut off the supply, like so that no more charge will reach the battery. So yeah, that's the last tip in this category. So we're into the third and final category of my battery saving tips. And in this category, this is the third one and the final one. And in this category, I'll actually be showing you how to extend your phone battery life when your phone has already shown you that it's about to die, when it's at 15, 10, or 5%. So the first tip in this category, which is tip number 11, is to actually turn on the battery saver. And I'm using a Samsung A3 as I said before. And how do I do so? I just go to settings, and then I scroll down and look for smart manager. I tap on that, and then I tap on battery. And then as you can see, there are actually two power saving modes. There's the medium power saving mode, and then there's the maximum power saving mode. Well, your phone is pretty much about to die. Well, it's at 15%. That's when you use things such as, well, this is where you use the maximum power saving mode. The medium power saving mode, you lose it while there's still some charge left. Let's say like your phone is pretty much in the 20 to 40% range, while your maximum power saving mode is while your phone is about to die, while it's at 15 or less. So yeah, that's it. Make sure to turn on your battery saver when your phone has already told you that I'm going to die in the next few moments if you don't do something. So make sure to turn on your battery saver in order to extend your usage time. So yeah, that's it. Tip number 12, which is the second one in this category, is to actually avoid actions that keep your screen on. Actions such as playing games or watching videos on it. You should actually avoid this when your phone is pretty much going to die in the next few moments, since your screen actually uses a lot of battery in order to, yeah, in order to perform the action you set it to do. So yeah, you should limit the amount of action that you are using while using your phone. So basically, you should not use your phone well, it's pretty much about to die. Just look for the charger and just charge it. So yeah, that's tip number 12. Always limit the actions that will keep the screen on. Yeah. So we are into tip number 13, the superstitious number 13. And tip number 13 is actually to avoid constant internet connection. And by this, I mean that you should avoid using things such as mobile data and mobile hotspot. As you can see, mine are already turned off. Like, you should make sure that your mobile data and your mobile hotspots are turned off in order to extend your battery life. So tip number 14 is as simple as avoiding actions that process too much information. It's as simple as that. So we are finally at tip number 15, which is the last tip that I have for you guys. If you are reached at this point of the video, thank you so much for watching the whole video. I love you guys. So yeah, let's get into it. Tip number 15 is actually to limit all network connectivity, limit connectivity of the phone. And the best way of achieving this is just to turn on flight mode. As you can see, you just scroll down from the top and then tap on flight mode or short tap. You tap on flight mode or airplane mode, and then just like that, my phone is in airplane mode. And when you long press, it will actually give you a description of what flight mode does. Flight mode actually turns off all network connections, including calling, texting, internet access, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. But while flight mode is on, you can actually turn Wi-Fi and Bluetooth back on in settings or the quick setting panels. But since you want to extend your battery life while your phone is pretty much going to die in the next few moments, this is not advisable. Just let it be. Just let all the network connections turn off. So yeah, that's it. And yeah, so those are my 15 tips on how to save your battery life on an Android phone. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know that this has been my longest video. I don't know how long it will be. I still love to edit it, but yeah, if you're rich at this point, thank you so much. Sub to the channel. I really love it. And don't forget to like the video. So have a good day. Run it up.